다예 진소 개베 초남지 졸라 편지 산지 주부라 람점소로군나 따비미 계산 탈원저베 중어주 제베주베 털게 저버니 sensi 신이 줘라 차서로 반든 저번 넘어름 뭐지 엔다긴 거비면데 주나 거진 침벽고는 지송도 구송 투중으로 제도 아 so today the continuation of yesterday with the continuation of the yesterday's motivation why we are all here today. Of course, the place is wonderful, full of inspiration. Weather is tolerable. A bit of mosquito, but that is a part of our practice. Kendi tumshana, kendi arti mantake. Yeah. No, mare. The kendi tumshana mado turang. Yeah. Kendi turgin toginande. Didi. Our practice should be sometimes limited. No extremes. So now our this journey, the Adish should be similar as Adisha's journey. The purpose should be same. Why we are here? Because our Guru, His Holiness Dalai Lama, has given almost every kind of a guidance to bring bodhicitta. But somehow we are a bit lazy. And then we really need to meet time to time causes and right causes and condition. Okay, now that's okay. Now speaking from nose. Okay, thank you. So to meet the right causes and condition, which is very important. That's why sometimes not practicing in one place, changing different places, which is already kind of blessed by the holy beings like Atisha and Selimpa. In this place, we should try to get the antidote. So in the afternoon session, we might cover up how the bodhicitta not only we bring kind of that brings benefit for the next life or the fully enlightenment, but in this life also it becomes so beneficial. So I have this section there which I will cover up in afternoon session. In this morning session, now as a following up as a meditation, first we will meditate shortly on the Guru devotion, because why Guru devotion is so important here. After the analyzing the purpose, whether there is a fully enlightenment or not, liberation or not, then most important, after that you have quite a certainty that there is a liberation, there is a cessation. Then what comes next is you have to put your own effort, whether you can bring the fully enlightenment, compassion, great compassion, whatever kind of realization it is. Then sometimes how much you from your own side put effort, not necessarily we can attain this kind of realization, because now there is every great being, when they went through this journey of Dharma, what is a remarkable kind of teaching they have given is, each and every great teachers, they said, in order to bring a realization, Guru devotion becomes very important. So self-study, how much you debate, how much you become quite intelligent, but if you don't have a Guru devotion, then it is difficult to bring the realization. So now we will discuss that. You can bring this question in the afternoon session, but right now we don't analyze very strongly. Right now it's time to calm our mind, relax, bring all the inspiration from this the holy place. Then afternoon we discuss. So now, as I mentioned, to bring a realization without the Guru devotion, it's like putting an empty glass and pouring something into the empty glass. It goes empty. No, there's no water at all. So now in this auspicious or the inspirational place, what we need to do is to calm our mind and relax your body, and then think the quality of the Guru. As in a six Dalai Lamas, there's a quotation called Tabshi Sunju Gyurmi di Ding Ding Gyabu Gondang Ho Tenshi Lama Shu Pandong Zobe Sanji Shi Tenanda Gyondo Bane Tanang Soto. So what that says is the Guru, who is not only just the conventional but also ultimate the Guru, which is that wisdom and the method inseparable, that kind of Guru, that kind of refuge, which is called our main refuge. That how we got to know is the kindness of your own Gurus. Here, I sometimes don't look many Gurus, just one Guru. It gives me much more stronger so we don't get confused which guru. We don't search, because the ultimate guru, that kind of teaching comes from, it can be delivered by many gurus. So we can hear, think that in Dharamsala His Holiness is there. So we, through our devotion, through from our the call of the Lama that is heard by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and from the Dharamsala to here into Indonesia, the holy place, that the duplicate of the His Holiness Dalai Lama approaches towards us, and then once you have this kind of appearance of this His Holiness, then what we, to us what it appears is ordinary. But this is through our karma's appearance that we are seeing the ordinary form only, who is not His Holiness, who is not other than the Lama Silimba. And we are here to search the bodhicitta as Adisha. So we are receiving this Guru lineage. And now we fold our hands together, and then we will cease all the appearance of ordinary and stay focused on the extraordinary qualities of our Guru. And now put your hands together as a meditation, and then meditate on the Guru devotion for a few minutes with me. Okay, with this strong devotion, so now we request the Lama that how once you have effort to bring the bodhicitta and the realization of emptiness, whatever kind of effort you have put in, I am going to do that for any cost. So that's why I'm here in sitting in the Marajambi place here, where Adisha got the bodhicitta from his teacher. So now, with this kind of a strong devotion, imagine that His Holiness, which is the duplicate of His Holiness, smiles upon you and says, as a representative of all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, I also went through similar approach as once you are doing right now. And now I have reached this fully enlightenment, and I will hold your hand until the fully enlightenment. And with the smile and permission that the Lama has given, that we will be not separated from each and other. So now, through your strong devotion, we visualize that it dissolves into you when we meditate for a few seconds. Okay. Now, that kind of devotion or that kind of request we can do from Dharamsala, we can do from anywhere. But here, especially today, we are requesting this actually to take the advantage of this holy place, where somehow we can feel the energy which this history, this story, this is kind of the life story of Adisha and Silimpa. So somehow through this kind of energy, we are here. Somehow we can feel that strong connection. Even the insects here born in the ceiling is somehow connected to the Lama Silimpa. Then to wish to have the mind, one of them, the precious, the most precious mind, which is the bodhicitta. Somehow we are trying to cultivate that and to realize that it's not easy to bring this kind of mindset. How precious is that? Somehow we can feel, somehow we can call at this time the precious human rebirth for sure. So we are here in this place to have the taste and the flavor or smell of the bodhicitta. Even we cannot achieve it today. So that's why now the second verse by the seventh Dalai Lama, which in Tibetan it sounds like Korvatame Dogni Kitsunrana Dewe Hongbe Ridu Sinjinchang Chinji Changbe Pamanam Tenanda Chadampane Jinsin the Injigo. It means that if you look around us, all this sentient being, day and night, try to look for their own happiness. You hear the sounds of the bird, insects, all the people around here, including ourselves, even taking this continuously breathing, unstopping. Why? To search for happiness. Our mission is same. So now, if we look around these sentient beings, somehow, if we could understand that continuum of consciousness, it carries on beginninglessly, endlessly, then there is no logic that we cannot say that we are not connected somehow. We are always connected. So that connection, most beautiful connection with the sentient being is if you can really, really feel the kindness of them. That's it. Otherwise, there are so many connections that are more like optionals, I could say. But most important, if you could really feel the kindness of the sentient beings, once you feel the kindness, it is so powerful. Practice, that practice is so powerful that can really automatically drag us. How can I repay the kindness of them? If you don't have that, if you don't feel the kindness of the sentient being, then how much you say, I wanted to voluntarily job to help them. We always do that for to experience, to socialize. We do that, but that is not the way how the Bodhisattvas wanted to practice. So here we wanted to practice as a Bodhisattva that day and the night when you look at the sentient being, one sentient being, if you have somebody who is super kind in your life, and with this little bit of logic, that person enemy, that person friend, that person some in the middle, a stranger. Right now, the current situation is something like that. But if you really deeply kind of a search of the continuum of the consciousness of these three, oh, they are equally on the level of the kindness. It's equally same. Even your parents, you feel, oh, so kind, and then that person who is your enemy at the situation, in this difficult situation, so-called enemy, 100% same kindness is there. So to repay the kindness, then you have to bring more, you have to crave to something that how I could repay the kindness to them. So the answer is the same. In the quotation of the sixth Dalai Lama here, it says, after now, through my negative emotions, such as the aversion and then attachment, I have destroyed the relation with them. That's true, isn't it? Even in this life, how we destroy our relation with our family is same. So we done that beginninglessly. So now, before you have quite an understanding of great compassion, we practice ourselves to tame our mind for your own good. Now, as the great compassion steps in within your practice, so now it changes. You feel with these negative emotion, it really destroys relation with the sentient being. Where I really wanted to repay the kindness, so somehow I need to tame my mind. So now it is a greater purpose. So in this place, Lama Adisha, when he came to meet Lama Silingpa, for Lama Silingpa, his way of practice from morning to evening, even in his dreams and sleeping time, every time he dedicated every practice to the Mother Sentient Being. It becomes like a natural. So sometimes we could say he got so familiarized towards that practice, so that it, the main how Aditya's attraction towards the practice is that one actually. Otherwise, if he has that kind of familiarized towards that kind of practice, so then in his biographies, if you look at when he remembers the kindness of Lama Silingpa, he says that one positive virtue today, if I have one virtue that's coming within me, that created that kind of a kindness, it goes towards Lama Silingpa. That refers that whatever after the meeting Lama Silingpa, that the huge improvement of the practice for Adisha was from that day on, he got so familiarized when each and every time when he spends a time with any kind of sentient beings, even a donkey, he could easily feel the connection. So in Tibet, when he reached there, and then many people are lined up as he is respected in Indian Pandita. So they are lined up for him, but then Adisha sees a donkey and makes kind of bow to the donkey and says, "Hello, mother, you are suffering too much, right?" So when Tibetans see this, they first felt very funny. We are waiting for him and he is making a scene there. But that is so natural for Adisha, because that natural is coming from this place, from the help of Lama Silingpa. So, so now in our second meditation, as the Seven Dalai Lama quotes in his quotation there, it says, for that purpose, I meditate on the great compassion. So we also meditate on the object, all the sentient being, and the mindset should be, wish I can really take or the abandon, eliminate their suffering for once and all. May I be the one who can do that. So this kind of inspirational way of thinking, we need to feel this in this great place. So we meditate on a great compassion for 1 or 2 minutes. So water. Now to help the sentient being, we need to have an extra energy. So start with the water. 괜찮죠? 줘, 줘. 떼주는 마도 구수리 싫다. 떼주는. So now we continue for 30 more minutes. Okay? So it will not too long because the sun will be approaching quite soon. And I know some people are facing leg pain. It's taking giving practice. So I can feel a little bit. So regarding about the taking giving practice, Lama Tsongkhapa in his miscellaneous text, miscellaneous?
Miscellaneous?
Yes, miscellaneous text. There is a section right before the three principal aspects of the path. Before that, there is one text, very beautiful text, very short, very incredible practice on how to transform suffering into the path. Very short one. Even it's such a become a very powerful practice that later on one of the great Nyingma practitioner called Dutuk Tembe Nyingma, His Holiness Dalai Lama always admired him a lot. So Dutuk Tembe Nyingma practices that, and he kind of there are a few little changes, just added a little bit more. Otherwise, it's A to Z same text, and the name is same. Looks like little bit of plagiarism. Now we cannot sue, but it's a great practice because one time this one group requested me to give this teaching. I have never seen this text. So I thought like, wow, this is incredible. So I was preparing for that, and then on the I was going for Dharamsala circle meditation towards His Holiness Dalai Lama's palace. So somehow I really love this the one line. So I wanted to make sure what I'm this how I recall and what is in the text is the same or not. Then I tried to search online. I found the text and then downloaded it and then look at it. Somehow it looks a little different than the original. So when I look at the author, it's Dutuk Tembe Nyingma. Actually, it's very same. So in this text, Lama Tsongkhapa mentioned, in these days, people love to practice taking giving practice a lot, which is very good. But common mistake is they don't want to, many people, because they don't like suffering, they wanted to transform suffering into path, which is very stupid. As a practitioner, you first have to accept the suffering, then accept the suffering, and then transform it into the path. That is the practice. So that's a really good tip because we really don't want to suffer. So we want to. It's like your the cloth which is full of stain. You wanted to put that in a washing machine and put a little bit of color, and then comes white clean. So it's not same as like that. It's more like first you have to accept accept there should be suffering because the right causes and condition is already there, then the suffering has to come. That's why we say this is samsara, what do you expect? So this is something that we practitioner has to adapt this kind of a mindset. So this is great. So every time when I try to do the Tonglen practice, I really remember the Lama Tsongkhapa's advice. They think like, right now because I don't like suffering, I wanted to transform like pushing a button. It doesn't work like that. So first, we, as Buddha himself said, know the suffering, and then you see the cause and the relation between the cause and the condition and the result, and then you will appreciate the method, which is the fourth noble truth, the path, and then what is the path for is to look for the cessation actually. So this is something we shouldn't skip this in our practice. So I just wanted to remind you that when we say taking giving practice. Also, there is a one tip before when we say how in English it's first giving and taking, right? In Tibetan it's a tong, tong, len. Tong is to give, len is to receive. So while in the actual practice, it's give and take. But your own, when you are doing your own kind of a training, while training, it should be first you need to not give, it's to receive. Yeah, right, to receive. This is the train, to receive and then take. So this receive means it is necessary for us, as Lama Tsongkhapa has given a tip, this is how we are suffering. That kind of suffering has to come because there is a causes and condition, negative emotion in the also the great master Asanga. He said in the Abhidharma, saying, "Yuni never never." Because we are staying very near to the object where the negative emotion can come very quickly. So we are sitting near to that kind of object, Chushimai. So this mistaken mind is within us. Chushimai yijele nyomon dun sang chikla sta tanda. Kasa yuni nyewa neba tang chikla kasa chikla so most important here, it sounds like if the right causes and condition to bring this suffering, why I'm complaining. Uh-huh. So we should know how to complain. That's I'm always telling myself. We are complaining where this should be happening, and we are complaining. That's total. Or take So once you have this, then when you look at other people's suffering, which is really similar to the way how you are suffering, so it's the same the connection that you are leveling up. You are leveling up how my causes and condition and the suffering, his and hers problem and the suffering, you can see in this one box thing. You can put that together, and then you could say, unless what I think this is the only solution to remove or to eliminate the suffering, there's no other way than uh, repaying the kindness. So now, before you receive all the how the right way of causes and conditions this suffering has started, you have this understanding. It's same as you are putting that in the same box. So it's more, first it's a taking. Then what you wanted to give is your own practice, which they have to do in the future, same as you. Oh, that looks dangerous. Don't touch the game. Please pray this does not follow our. The chapels to the game. There is somebody.
Branch fell down?
No. There's the seed, the fruit. It looks quite heavy. Ushinisha. The sugdo
Protection parasol.
we don't want to ushinisha before fully enlightened. Okay. So this way, so now then we have some ideas of, unless you really don't know what to take, then you start giving, then somehow we feel like we feel tired. We feel so tired. We know that we could, in the West, we have this way therapists do. Before, when you really want to become a good therapist, it is not important to say something to other. Replying is not necessary. First, you should be a good listener. You need to understand how other person is really feeling, and then put yourself in the other person's place and listen, and then you feel this pain, and then automatically second approach is then sharing the methods. So similarly in the Tonglen practice, first is not giving, first is the taking, understanding. Then if you have something to give, then you give it. If you don't have something to give, it is not necessary. So then you can practice much stronger and stronger. That's why also we have this mantra, Gade Gade, Parakade. So all the Buddhist thought was, why all these bhumis until 10th bhumi? Why this is described? Because of the strength of the bodhicitta. So now this, in the second verse of the seventh Dalai Lama, he says, meditate on the great compassion. So third one, we really don't need to discuss it much because it's more based on a tantra. So I have no understanding on tantra yet. So we could, we received so many teachings, initiations from His Holiness Dalai Lama, so we could see His Holiness. In this special place, maybe we could meditate His Holiness and His Holiness inseparable of Mother Tara, because Odysseus, one of the main guidance is the Mother Tara. So we visualize the the compassion, the form of compassion in a lady. So the Mother Tara. So we meditate for her guidance, that each and every time we need some kind of special beings, day and night support. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, so maybe meditate on the essence, the real essence is His Holiness the Lama. The form appears, the appearance is the Mother Tara. So we meditate on Mother Tara for a few minutes. And then why we are asking for her help? Not to just have a very successful this life. That's against our the practice of bodhicitta. So this is more in order to help people who's really suffering, and I really wanted to help them. First, in order to help others, we need to tame our own mind. So for this, I am going to do my best, and then also uh, the the Mother Tara, who is not other than my guru, may you always guide me. So we meditate on Mother Tara like that. With the melody, can you lead? Om Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Re So. Maybe have a better melody. See the better melody.
Oh, which one?
Like in Om Mani Padme Hum, we do in a Om Mani Padme Hum, something in a
Does somebody
uh,
else want to lead?
Tare tu re soha. Om 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 Dare Du Re Soha. Om Dare Du. See what how much effort he has put in. Then slowly, the even the Manjushri says, now you have studied with this master enough. Now you go to the next master. So it is showing towards us these the help of the deity should be something like that. Then I think maybe you can have a quite vivid, the pure vision. Otherwise, you with the laziness requesting the prayers, and then it's like a more you are bribing your deity. So it which is against the our Buddha's wish and advice, actually, not a wish. He advised that from the beginning. He said, I cannot take away your negative emotions. The holy water cannot wash your the negative emotions. He said this, and then it looks like in Tantra there is some shortcut. So we always feel that. Not necessarily it's for like, I really wanted to take this shortcut, whatever kind of effort is there, I really need this to help sentient beings. There's no intention like that. And then there's no way that you really wanted to, all this suffering is rooted from the ignorance mind. This is why I really wanted to cut. There's nothing feeling like this. And then we receive lots of initiations, lots of teachings, and then while you do your retreat, and there's nothing to do with eliminating the root of the samsara, which is ignorance mind, and then that's a very, very different path, which like almost 3,000 years ago, which Buddha never taught, and we are inventing something new, which is something we need to be careful with. Okay, just a reminder. I know you guys are expert, you know it, but then sometimes I tell myself. That's why some people request me to give initiation. I say I cannot deal with my negative emotions. I cannot deal with your negative emotions. So which is quite true, which is very, very true. So similarly, very important in here. Uh, on the last day, we try to take the inspiration of bodhicitta together. Well, this is something to take away with us. And most importantly, I think it is very important, setting up this mind. After this journey, what are you going to do? It becomes most important. So, yeah, one of my friend, he went to His Holiness Dalai Lama a few years ago, and he requested, I wanted to have a realization on emptiness. What can I do? He was strong devotion. His Holiness said, read Buddha Palita. He said, this is so hard. Then His Holiness looked at him and said, so what? Then it really helped him. So you wanted to deal with your negative emotion, which you are so familiar for countless life, and you want to deal with this, and you wanted to have a very soft practice. So look at this great Adisha all the way. Even he have a full understanding on, much better understanding. Let's put that in the respectful way. Much better understanding on the emptiness level than his own teacher, Silingpa. But for to generate the bodhicitta, he sacrificed his life and come almost 13 months on this dangerous trip. So now, when with this kind of motivation, once you go back, how to train your mind, that you need to have a small commitment. I'm not saying, because I'm not doing it, a huge commitment. I'm doing short commitment. So I take a little bit of the practice how to deal with the negative emotions so that I can bring benefits to others. You really need to keep this in mind and then practice it as much as you can. Okay? Are we on the same boat?
The 108 birds are arrived. Do you want
Oh,
to
okay,
read
yeah.
them now?
So let's
Or
do
use
it.
the teaching?
Yeah, so after this, now we do a short dedication and then we free the birds. Okay? Okay. Changju simjo rinpo che manje mo simjo rinpo che manje bo nam jen yun che che bo nyam bo me bo yang kong ye kong don pe wo shu chan ju sim yin bon ji man yin wa nan yin yun ji che bo yang bo ba ya kong ne kong do pe wa shu 수남데 탐지 세와인 원방돈이 견지다 가다 나단 시베 라브로데 시베 솔런도와 테브라 쇼 펜데 중네 템바 다신게 텐진 기부 탐지 공감상 류진 군라디 상게 템바타도 제주로 제